Good afternoon to my Baptist General Convention family and my Northern Virginia Baptist Association family. We thank you for joining what we hope this afternoon will be an informative webinar regarding the Payroll Protection Program. As you know, churches are eligible to apply and receive the PPP loans. And so we thought it would be a good idea to have experts from one of our banking institutions to come and share information about the application process and also the forgiveness process. And so we are happy to welcome today and introduce you to the staff at the FCC Bank. And we are delighted to have the Vice President, Director of Business Development, Ms. Sharon Riccardi, along with her staff. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing with us. And I'll turn it over to your hands to lead us in the way you choose and see fit.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor Victor, for providing the opportunity for us to be here, and for the members of the Baptist General Convention, as well as Mount Olive Baptist Church. And we're excited to be here today. So we want to also thank Christian Whitley for making this possible and making this happen, because we wouldn't be here and providing you with this live stream if it wasn't for him. Reverend Henderson and the Northern Virginia Baptist Association, thank you for providing this opportunity as well. Our primary goal today is to inform you here about the PPP loan process and answer any questions if you may have. We're hoping to get through the presentation and then hopefully have some time for some questions, and hopefully we can provide you with the right answers. Leanne White will be providing you with the information. She'll be running through the presentation for you. As a business development officer here, Leanne White is very involved in the religious organization community and the nonprofit community, locally and throughout Northern Virginia. So Leanne, go ahead and introduce your presentation.
Well, thank you again, Pastor Victor, for the opportunity, and Reverend Henderson, and thank you so much, Christian, for your assistance. I am Leanne White. I'm a Business Development Officer with FCC Bank, and we're very glad to be with you all today to go over the PPP process, the application with you. So I want to start off with the first slide and just tell you a little bit about FCC Bank and who we are and what we do. Since our inception in 2007, FCC Bank has made it our priority not to not just be an average bank. We exist for one reason and with one mission: to make our clients successful. We believe true service goes far past a handshake and a friendly face. FCC Bank representatives are skilled in every area of personal, commercial, nonprofit banking, and are here to address your financial needs. What makes us different? FCC Bank employees think like entrepreneurs, but we work as a team. Next slide. So let's go ahead and get into the Payroll Protection Program. Next slide. Who is eligible for a PPP loan? Businesses with 500 employees or fewer, nonprofit organizations to include 501c3, 501c19 veteran organizations, religious organizations, houses of worship, and independent contractors. Now, I do want to make note here, independent contractors are not considered employees, so they would need to apply for the PPP program on their own. Next slide. I already received one PPP loan. Can I apply for a second loan? Yes. Borrowers that previously received a PPP loan can apply for a second loan if they meet certain eligibility criteria. Borrowers applying for a second PPP loan must have 300 or fewer employees. And again, independent contractors are not considered employees. The maximum loan amount is $2 million for companies applying for the second PPP loan. Businesses applying for a second PPP loan will have to demonstrate at least a 25% reduction in revenue between corresponding quarters in 2019 and 2020. Next slide. What can the PPP funds be used for? Payroll costs, and this includes employee benefits and employer paid taxes, rent, lease payments, and interest on mortgage payments, utilities, personal protective equipment, better known as PPE, and facility updates. Now this includes things like masks, gloves, face shields, things of that nature. Software or cloud computing costs for business operations. As you know, a lot of us are making the transition working virtually and working from home, so that would include those costs. Costs of the supply of goods that are essential to business operations, and covered worker protection expenditures that help adapt business activities to COVID safety requirements. Now, this includes things like plexiglass, your sanitizing stations. Sanitizing stations. Thank you so much, Sharon. Getting a little tongue-tied there. So it covers those additional costs. Now, I do want to make note, something that a lot of people may not be aware of. Costs related to property damage and vandalism or looting due to public disturbances not covered by insurance or other compensation can be included for your PPP loan funds. Next slide. What are the loan terms? PPP loans are 100% federally guaranteed and have low interest rates of 1%. There is no collateral required. It is anticipated, like in the earlier rounds of PPP, no repayment will be necessary for the first 6 to 8 months, as long as the funds are used as designated for eligible borrowers. All or a portion of the PPP loan can be forgiven. Next slide. I haven't applied for forgiveness on my first loan yet. Can I apply for a second loan? Yes. Borrowers that meet eligibility criteria for a second loan can apply for a second loan before applying for forgiveness for their first PPP loan. However, borrowers must have spent all proceeds from their first PPP loan prior to disbursement of the second loan. Next slide. What documents do I need to begin to gather? Your 2019 tax return and employment tax form. For S corporations, Form 1120S and Form 941, all 4 quarters. For C corporations, Form 1120 and Form 941 for all 4 quarters. For LLCs or partnerships, Form 1065 and Form 941, also for all 4 quarters. For sole proprietors or independent contractors, Form 1050, Schedule C, must be provided. For nonprofit organizations, Form 990 and Form 941, again, for all 4 quarters, or for 944, or Form 944, my apologies. Of course, we will need your organizational documents. That includes basically your articles of incorporation, or for churches, that would be your constitution, your driver's license, or other form of identification, and additional information may be required. Next slide. And I want to point out as well, for the documents that need to be required for the PPP program, it is important to show comparisons between 2019 and 2020 financials, so the loss of at least 25% per quarter can be recognized. So I wanted to make sure to point that out. Next question, do I calculate my revenue based on cash or accrual basis accounting? Revenue will be determined by cash accounting. The legislation clearly states gross receipts. For more information or to determine your gross receipts, you will need to contact your CPA. Next slide. Does my first PPP loan count as revenue in the quarter I received it? No. The PPP loan would appear on your balance sheet and not count as income in the quarter received. Next slide. And here we are for our open question portion. So if you have any questions, we are monitoring the chats. So if you have a question, go ahead and type it in your chat and we're here to answer your question. And we're on Facebook and YouTube. So you can type your question in the chat on Facebook or YouTube. And while we're waiting for those questions, I just want to make clear my contact information is available on the screen here at FCC Bank. As a business development officer, we are around the clock, so I have my direct number and my mobile, as well as my email is available for any additional questions that you may have after the stream has ended.
Questions coming?
Okay. So we'll just leave a moment for questions.
Most importantly, that they can contact you if they think of anything afterwards.
Absolutely.
And we're available to assist. Just reach out to Leanne. Her information is on the slide that gives you her email address, phone number. Feel free to call.
What do most PPP loans, what are they used for? You should have talked about that.
Payroll.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that the question? Oh, I'm sorry. So most PPP loans are being used for payroll, but they're also allowed to be used for utilities and additional expenses. But mostly payroll. That's what we're finding.
Doesn't look like any more questions are coming in.
Well, we'll go ahead and end it there. Again, if you have any further questions after the stream is ended, please feel free if we can put my contact information.
Put the screen with your email back up, if you could request that question.
Yes, if you could put the contact information back up on the screen. There we go. Again, if you have any further questions after the stream is ended, please reach out to us. We have a dedicated team here assisting all of our clients with the PPP applications, with the forgiveness process. So we are here to assist you in anything that you need. Sharon, did you have anything to?
No, thank you all for listening in and being here today. And again, thank you for this opportunity. And we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks and have a great day.
Have a great day.